here at your home today, and I wanna just thank you so much for inviting all your friends and making such goodies and snacks for us. We really, really appreciate that. I'm always looking for somebody to have a party for me, and Courtney was that this time. And so as I'm going through all these products and talking about stuff, and then once you get your catalog, if you're flipping through the catalog and you're like, oh my gosh, I love all this stuff, and you want more of it than you think your wallet can handle, just be thinking about being Courtney. I mean, have a party for me. So I do thank you so much. Without people having bookings, I would not have a business very long. So thank y'all. And I thank you guys for coming on a Saturday and spending about 30 to 45 minutes with us. I know time is precious for everybody, and so thank you for coming. Today we're going to talk about our Safe Haven 5, which is in this little box right here. It's 5 products that I'm going to go through, and then I'm going to tag on my mop and the little brush and the EnviroWand, because you cannot not go over those, because those are like the most coveted items in the whole catalog is this mop. And so at the end I'll tag that on too. So there are some things written on this box that I think are really cool, so I wanted to share these with you before we get started. So the first one up here says improving quality of life by radically reducing chemicals in our homes. So that's the mission of Norwex. Norwex came from Norway. It came to Canada first and then made its way to the United States. And the mission of this company is to improve our health by getting rid of all the chemicals that we're exposed to with cleaning. Y'all, those cleaners work, they really do, but we are breathing those in and absorbing those in our skin, and so they're dangerous. And something else on our box that's really, really unique is it says, let me find the one I want. Nope, not that one either. Here we go. 80,000 chemicals have been created in the last 50 years, and fewer than 300 have been tested on their impact on human health. Y'all, we are so gullible. They put a product out there, they show us that it works, we buy it. We don't even worry about if it's safe for us or not. We just jump in and use it. Back in the 50s, there's another little something on here. Where it is. More than 200 chemicals have been found in the cord blood of our newborns. In the 50s, there were 0 chemicals in the cord blood of our newborns. And so we're getting a lot of stuff into our bloodstream that's passing on to our kids. And y'all, when I was growing up, if a child had cancer, 9 times out of 10 it was leukemia. Nowadays, kids are having all kind of cancers, brain cancer being the one that I think of most commonly. And I'm not saying Norwex is here to cure cancer, or all these spectrum disorders that are coming out like ADHD and Asperger's and all those things. I'm not saying we're going to cure that, but it's something in our environment that we're exposed to, and if we can reduce some of that, why would we not? And we're still going to be cleaning effectively and quicker and cheaper, and it's going to be great. Everything you need to start making your home a safe haven is in this box. And there's one more. 51,000 trees are cut down daily for North America's paper towel habit. So we are using lots and lots of paper towels and getting rid of lots of trees. And so a lot of these products will help you cut down on that paper towel usage. So this is how your little box will come. It's so cool. It's got an EnviroCloth, it's got the window cloth, it's got the dusting mitt, cleaning paste, and the laundry detergent. In the very bottom of the box, there's some papers to show you how to take care of those. We're going to go over that today, but if you kind of like get lost and forget, it's in there. And then your savings and what you can do, like what your problem is, and then what the solution is. So this is a handy dandy little box that it all comes together, and I love the way they packaged it for us. Okay, so our first cloth is the EnviroCloth. Mine looks a little nasty. It's clean, I promise. I washed it before I came, but it's got ink on it. I do a demo here in just a little bit with some ink. And so that's what you're seeing is ink on my cloth. So this is a microfiber cloth. And so you're thinking, well, I can buy that at Dollar General, right? And you can. You can buy it at Walmart, you can buy it lots of places. But there are so many things about our cloth that are different than what you can buy in those stores, and I'm going to tell you about 4 of those differences really quickly. So the first one is the fiber itself. To be called microfiber, micro meaning little, it has to be 1/6 the size of a human hair. So take a hair out of your head, hold it up long ways, slice it down 6 times, put it into a cloth, and you can call yourself microfiber. Ours, y'all, is 1/200 the size of a human hair. So it is super tiny. And that fiber in here is what is the amazing piece of this cloth. It's what does all the good cleaning for you. Second thing is, if I were to give Courtney, my hostess, a corner, and I said, Courtney, you go south, and I I'm gonna take the other corner and I'm going north, she would end up in Mexico and I would end up in Canada. There's 1,800 miles of that tiny little fiber in this cloth, so it's super dense. And it's just very good quality when you feel it. A lot of times at a party, I'll pass this around and everybody gets to feel it. The third thing about this thread is if I could see Courtney, 1,800 miles away from me, all the way down that thread between Courtney and I, that thread has silver embedded into it. Not coating the fiber, but actually in the fiber. And you're like, well, what is the deal with silver? Why would I want silver in my fiber? I'm a registered nurse. That's what I do in my big girl job. And I teach nursing, and we use silver all the time in the medical field. So we have things like Silvadene cream, and we have dressings that have silver impregnated in them. And if somebody's got a real bad wound, we'll poke those dressings down in there. And what the silver does is it prevents the bacteria in that wound bed from replicating itself. Well, y'all, if we don't replicate, it's kind of like the human race. If we don't keep having babies, we die out. And that's what happens. This cloth cleans itself because any bacteria that you pick up in this cloth is gone in 24 hours. The silver will not let it replicate. And so this is a self-purifying cloth. Is that not crazy? It's crazy, right? So 24 hours, you just clean your whole house with this cloth, rinse it out with water, wring it out, hang it up by this little tag, let some air move through it, and bam, it's clean in the morning for you. Ready to go. As soon as 24 hours has gone by and it's good and dry, it's clean. Now, we do recommend that you wash these about every third or fourth time that you use them, and we'll talk about how to clean those in just a second. So I'm telling you the 4 things that are different about our microfiber than what's in Dollar General. First thing was the size, 1/200, the 1,800 miles. And then the third thing was the silver. The fourth thing is anything that you clean with this cloth and just water is 99% bacteria free. Think about that for a minute. Lots of our products say that on the bottle. Cleans to 99% bacteria free. Y'all, this does it with just water. It's not a chemical. You're not spraying anything and inhaling it. You're not absorbing it into your skin. It's not on the surface of what you cleaned. Okay, so now that you're thinking, I'm going to use this little cloth with water, what are some things that might come off of your shopping list? Some cleaners. Lysol.
Clorox.
Clorox. What was back there?
Disinfecting wipes.
Disinfecting wipes. Okay, so I heard Clorox and disinfecting wipes. Y'all, people love Clorox wipes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Teachers ask for them on their school list. They want them in their classroom. I want to tell you a little bit about Clorox wipes real quick. On the front of the box, there's 2 asterisks. Turn it around and follow to where those asterisks go. The first thing is you have to leave the surface completely wet with that Clorox wipe for 4 minutes for it to be effective. Does anybody in here that uses a Clorox wipe leave that surface wet for 4 minutes? Meaning you kind of wipe, it's beginning to dry, you wipe again. 4 minutes is a long time, right? The second thing it says back there is if this is going to be around a pet or a human, it needs to be wiped with water after you've cleaned the surface. Anybody go back and wipe down all the surfaces that you use Clorox on and then wipe it with water? No, we don't do that. Y'all know why we have to do that? The directions say to do that. The asterisks tell you to do that. It's a pesticide. And we're all just using it. We're rubbing it on everything. Teachers are going from desk to desk to desk as fast as they can to get home at the end of the day. What are they actually moving from desk to desk?
Germs.
They don't know it. They think they're doing something good. Every classroom in the world needs one of these, okay? So this is our EnviroCloth. It says on the tag Enviro, so if you get a bunch of stuff and you're like, I can't remember what cloth is what, it labels it for you, which is awesome. It also says Baclock on it, B-A-C-L-O-C-K. Anytime you see that little green symbol and the word Baclock, it means that it's got that silver in it, okay? So as you're flipping through the catalog later, most of our stuff does have the silver. There are a few things that do not. So the way you're going to use this is fold it in half and fold it in half again. And we want you to hold it just like that when you're cleaning so that a lot of this surface area can come in contact with what you're cleaning. Put your hand on the back of it, and then all these little fibers, if we were to look at it with a microscope, they have little star-like appendages, and they just grip and grab, and they pull all the bacteria and the virus and the dirt and the grime and stuff to it, okay? None of this kind of cleaning. No scrunching with this cloth, okay? Not a lot of good surface area there. Also, when you fold it and fold it in half again, you have 8 surfaces have number 1, number 2, 3, and 4. Flip it over and you got 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you don't have to be running back to the sink just a whole lot. You just flip sides and you do a lot of good cleaning. This second cloth is called our window cloth. It is much different in the way that it feels. It's kind of silky and shiny. And it also has the back lock in it, that silver technology. But this cloth is used with this one. And you're going to use this one when you want something to be really shiny and streak-free. So like a window, a mirror, your stainless steel appliances, dark granite, things that you want to have a really high shine to them and not be streaky. Now this is how you'll see me if you were ever to look into my house while I'm cleaning. This is the way you see this happening here. So this is just kind of hanging out up here till I'll get to one of those surfaces that's going to need that. This is in my hand and wet, and I use it all the time. These are the 2 products that got me into Norwex, okay? So I teach nursing, I told you guys that, and I taught down at Co-Lin in Weston, Mississippi for 17 years. And I had a girl invite me to her Facebook Norwex party. So as I was doing, like a lot of us, one night I was scrolling through before I went to bed and I saw the party. They were running all over this house and they were doing this in this room and this in this room. I was not dare gonna touch the screen, like it, comment or anything, cause they would want me to buy something, right? Or have a party. And so I know where you are right this minute, like I'm with you, right? But y'all, I just kept thinking about what they did, and I'm like, if it really works like that, I would like to see it. Skeptical. So I asked the lady, I guess I thought I was somebody important. I asked the lady to come show it just to me. No party, just come to my house. And y'all, she said she would. I was like, okay, that's great. So she came one Wednesday night, and all she brought were these 2 cloths. She wet this one, she used this one dry, she cleaned my back door. I have a glass back door, I have an inside dog and an outside dog, so the bottom of that door is always gross. That door, I hated cleaning that door because you go outside, you spray with Windex, you kind of make mud because there's pollen and dust and dirt and then dog slobber at the bottom, right? So the first time I'm just making mud, spray again, pull off some more paper towels, wipe, and now I've got streaks. Spray a 3rd time, we're heavily using the Windex at this point. Wipe again, and it finally is looking good, but what is in every corner? Paper towel ends. And try to get the last little bit of dust out, and you have broken out in the sweat because we live in Mississippi, right? 90% of the year you break down in the sweat. Go on the inside's much easier to clean because there's only dog slobber at the bottom, not the dust and pollen and stuff up top. But y'all, she cleaned my door in about 45 seconds flat, front and back, and was just like cleaner than it's ever been. A bird could fly through it. I was just like, wow. So she was going to Pine Lake Church on Wednesday night. She was coming back Sunday. She said, I'll leave these 2 cloths with you and you can just try them and I'll come back and get them. I was like, well, awesome. So her car hits my driveway. I'm hearing the rocks and I'm just like, she's coming back. And I gotta use these cloths before she comes back. So I like start cleaning everything in my house. I mean, I was like, and it got to be a game. My husband was like, I bet it won't do, blah, blah, blah. And so we'd run and go try. He was with me. Y'all, it did everything in my house. Like it cleans my bathtubs, my mirrors, my countertops. Anything you can name, you can clean with these 2 cloths. We recommend that you not use it on rough surfaces like brick or wood that's not been sanded really well, because it might tear your fiber. But other than that, clean everything in your house with these 2 cloths. So I usually wet this, and I've already picked out a window or a door in their home, and I clean it, okay? Or I'll take some butter, and I always try to draw like a heart or something on it. I think that day at the party that these 2 ladies went to, I put lotion on my hands, and I put fingerprints all over her back door. And I just show how easy it cleans on grease and things that are oily, so like your stovetop if you fried bacon or pork chops, and I'm just like, y'all, it does great on grease and stuff too. And it does, it just cleans up so well. Then I usually say, okay, so you saw how easily I clean those handprints off of that door. But the part that people have trouble wrapping their head around is the 99% bacteria-free part, right? So you know it's easy, you saw me clean the door or the window or whatever it was. I brought a piece of raw chicken with me. So everybody wrap your head around the fact that I'm fixing to pull out some raw chicken. Everybody gets grossed out. I'm gonna use my little whiteboard here, and I'm gonna take this chicken and I'm gonna wrap rub it on my whiteboard. Now, chicken is a great demo for this because people get wigged out about chicken in their kitchen, right? When you are in there with chicken, you're like, no kids in here, keep them in the living room. Once you're done and you get it in the stove, you start wiping down stuff with your Clorox wipes. You're throwing all the towels into dirty clothes, washing your hands. It's foodborne illness, right? We don't want to make anybody sick. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to rub this on my little board. I don't even like touching it. Just rub it on there real good. And then I am going to, and this is wet, and so then I wipe up. Should I wet this and do the real thing? Glenda.
Yeah. Pour some water on that stuff. It's so absorbent. It may run.
It's coming through.
Is it?
A little bit.
Oops.
Okay. I think I've got enough to show it. So then I take my cloth. Where is the chicken? There it is right there. And I wipe the chicken up. And I set the cloth up toward the sill. And then I go in and talk about this protein swab. I say, y'all, this is not a bacterial swab. It's a protein swab. Protein swabs are used by health inspectors. This is what they use when they go around to restaurants. And they swab their handles and their faucets and their cutting surfaces. And y'all, if it comes out green, that's good. That means there's no protein there. Well, I'm trying to show you that it cleans to 99% bacteria-free, so why didn't I bring a bacterial swab? Well, it would take 72 hours, and I love you, Courtney, but I don't want to be here for 3 days, okay? And so nobody else really has 3 days to hang out at Courtney's either, right? So we use this because protein is smaller than bacteria. They know if that restaurant has cleaned well enough to get rid of the protein, then they've gotten rid of the bacteria there too, okay? So I rub the chicken right on this side, so I'm gonna go through here with my little swab. I'm gonna show you guys that all the protein is gone. Y'all, the first time I did this at a party, I was so nervous.
I was too.
I was swabbing and I couldn't hardly get
I know.
just to go in here. And then once I finally got it in here, I just started praying, dear Lord Jesus in heaven, please let it be green. So then I show them that it actually swabs up. Oh, I'm going to turn my solutions up in the top. It's green. So that cloth with that little spot of water got up all of that protein. Y'all, chicken is like the source of protein, right? Isn't that amazing? It's green. Like, yay. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, if we wipe through this, that there's no protein even on the surface of this cloth. Okay? All that chicken juice and the bacteria and the viruses and mold and mildew or whatever it is you pick up when you're cleaning goes to the center of that cloth, and that silver starts to work on it. Immediately, look. So y'all, I cleaned her door just a minute ago, got all those handprints off of it. If I wanted to go back and clean the other side of that door, the matching doors right here, I'm not putting chicken on her door. No cross-contamination. Okay, so a lot of people are like, well, is your little swab like real? And is your chicken really chicken? I mean, like, that just is too unbelievable, right? So I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna go down in my bag. I'm not even touching the chicken. I'm touching where the chicken has touched. I'm gonna show you guys what starts to happen. Almost immediately, what do you notice? For those of you that are really close, Dee Dee, what are you seeing happening?
It's changing color.
It's changing color. Y'all, but by the time we get ready to leave here today, this will be the most beautiful purple. It'll be like the purple on Taylor's shirt. Y'all see how I'm calling people's names? People love that. So as they're coming in, I have a little note card, and I'll say like, Glenda, tan top, cute earrings. And then I go, yeah. And then I'm like, you know, I always write down your hostess names, because y'all sometimes when you're talking, you flip and forget your mind, right? And you're like, who in the heck is this host? I can't even remember right this minute. I'm so nervous. And then I might write down cute black and white dress and write her name there also. So when I'm talking, I can say, what do you see? You know, Taylor, what do you see? It's your purple, right? Okay, that's relational. People like that. So does anybody have a question about this demo that I just did? There's a question that you as a consumer should be asking. What do you have, Glenda? What's your question? So you're
okay, so
at a party.
I'm just a customer.
Yeah, you're a customer.
Now, can I use that
super hot water and rinse and rinse. And then when you think you've rinsed enough, rinse a little bit more. You're trying to wash out as much as you can.
So what if you don't wash it all out?
Then when you hang it up, air's gonna move through it, the silver's gonna start doing its thing, and in 24 hours, nothing is in there. Anybody else got a question?
How
Yes,
much
ma'am.
does it cost?
How much do they cost? These two little guys right here together are right at $35. So you may go home today and tell your husband how excited you are about $35 on these rags. They're not rags, by the way, they're called. What you're gonna have to tell him though is, listen, honey, so the Kaboom that I buy, that's $5.64. The Windex that I buy, that's $3.94. The paper towels that I buy, the scrubbing bubbles that I buy, all the stuff that I'm used to buying, it goes away. We're getting rid of all those chemicals. And so over time, we're gonna recoup our $35 and then some. They're amazing. Anybody else got a question? Those are awesome questions.
How long do they last?
How long do they last? That's a good question, Bonnie. So the lady that brought these from Norway to Canada, she did so back in 1999. And she was fixing to frame it and put it up in home office. Her name is Debbie Bolton. She's awesome. So she was getting ready to frame her first cloth, like, oh, the cloth, right? And she said, y'all, before we do that, I wanna send it off. And I wanna see, does it still remove 99% of bacteria from the surfaces that it's cleaning? And then I wanna see if the fibers in here really actually keep cleaning. I mean, I've had these cloths right at 20 years. Send it off, got the results back, and guess what? With proper care, those cloths still did all
Amazing.
of that. Is that not amazing? So tell your husband, they're guaranteed for 2 years. Now, I'm gonna throw that out there. We have a 60-day money-back guarantee. The product is guaranteed for 2 years as far as the workmanship and the stitching. But y'all, her cloth was still affected. So that's an amazing question. A question that you're not asking. Anybody else got a question?
How
So-
do you wash them,
How
like,
do you
other
wash
than
them?
just the rinsing them out, like you
What
said, you
is
put them in the
proper
washing machine?
care?
Yeah.
Excellent question. So we love for you guys to wash in something that mixes up like this. Our detergent is the best. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. It's wonderful stuff. I'm gonna talk about this as we go. But if you don't buy our detergent today, you can buy something like a Tide Free, All Free, Cheer Free, 7th generation. Something that mixes up, got nice cleaning to it, lots of bubbles, but is clear. What we don't want is something that looks like this. This has dyes and fragrances and fillers, and over time, on that tiny little fiber, it will build up and it'll keep your silver from doing what it's supposed to. Okay, so what to wash it in, I told you that. Let's talk about what not to do with these cloths, okay? So don't ever, ever, ever use bleach on them. Y'all know how tiny that fiber was? We pulled it out of our hair, we sliced it down 200 times, we stretched it from Canada to Mexico. Y'all, bleach will fry those cloths. It will just totally destroy them. That's the one thing that if it happens to your cloth, I could not bring you back from it. Don't use dryer sheets or fabric softener. Dryer sheets and fabric softener are both really lotiony. They'll coat this and they'll keep it from doing its job. But let's say that your honey's trying to be sweet and he's washing clothes for you and he throws them in the washing machine with downing and then he puts them in the dryer with a bunch of dryer sheets. The dryer's fine, by the way. You can totally dry these in your dryer. You can hang them to dry, you can put them in the dryer, whatever floats your boat. But it's the coating that's on there. What you have to do at that point is reset your cloths. So you put a stopper in the sink, put your cloths that got exposed to the downing and to the dryer sheets in there and just pour boiling water on top of them. Let them sit for about 10 minutes. Don't let the water get cold. You don't want it to settle back on your cloths. You want it to release from that cloth. Rinse it in warm water, throw it in the wash with something that looks like this, okay? Great question. Anybody else got any questions? There's still one I want you to ask and you hadn't asked it yet. Anybody else? So we talked about cleaning up that chicken and then how I could go back and clean the other side of her door. People ask me at parties, so could I use the same cloth in my bathroom that I use in my kitchen? The answer to that is yes, but I want you to be smart about it. So when you get home tonight and you're taking a shower, are you gonna clean your feet and then come back and clean your face?
No.
No, we're gonna go from cleanest to dirtiest, right? So I tell people in your homes, clean everything in your home with these two cloths. Save your bathrooms for dead last. clean your bathrooms, rinse your cloths, rinse them again, rinse them one more time, wring them out, hang them up, and then you're good to go. So you can absolutely use this cloth all over your house. Now I see some of you kinda like, ooh, gross, you wanna vomit when you think about that, right? I'm gonna clean my bathroom and then I'm gonna come clean my kitchen the next week with it. So, you know, you can buy 2 different cloths. I'll be glad to sell you different colors. We have blue, we have pink,
That's
we have gray,
genius.
we have lots of colors. So if you want the blue one, cause it kinda looks like water to be your bathroom one, and then you want a gray one for the rest of your home, we'll talk about that at checkout, okay? Any other questions about these 2 cloths? Okay, well, we're gonna move on to number 3. It's our dusting mitt. It has the back lot written around the little tag. You're gonna wanna scruff it up before you get started on both sides. Let a little static electricity help you. Slide your hand in there, dust your whole house, okay? When you get a lot of dust build up on here, you can go outside, grab it by the little tag, pop it up against the wall, hit it on the picnic table or whatever, and go back in and finish cleaning. If you happen to buy this little brush, the brush, I have it laying over here by my mop because it really goes with our mop, but y'all, it goes with so much. This little dude right here is like $17. He can do all kind of stuff. He can clean your floor mats in your car, your little throw rugs at your front and back door. He can wipe pet hair off of your furniture. He can wipe hair off of your pet. Like, it's amazing, okay? This little brush.
Every home
Yeah,
needs
just
one.
totally make that away. So when you get dust on here, go outside and just sweep this into the grass and then come back inside and finish dusting. The thing I love about this is stuff doesn't get stuck in here. The bristles are really wide, and so all that stuff easily just comes right out. And if it gets dusty, just rinse it underwater, sling it out, hang it up, let it dry, and you're good to go again. It's an amazing little brush. I highly recommend one of these. Something else that you can do with this is mist it with some water and go in your car and do the dashboard and the light panels and make your car look awesome. So Armor All wipes came off your list. Pledge, liquid gold, so when you're telling your husband about the rags that he's gonna call rags that are really close, go ahead and throw that in there. You know, we don't have to buy all this stuff too. Something else you can do with this guy is soak him completely down in water, let him get good and wet, wring him out, raise the windows in your home and clean the screens inside and outside. Now y'all, I told you that you don't have to wash this every single time you use it because it's got the back lock just like these 2. That day, you're gonna wanna wash it. Your screens are gonna make this guy completely black, so you can wash them that day. Something else you can do is throw it in a reach bag. Instead of using the, you know how you usually have the shower head and then the lower shower head for your feet and legs before you go in the condo, y'all use this and then you're not walking in your condo with wet legs and feet. So just dust off all the dust, and even if you put sunscreen all over your whole body and it's like stuck to you, it just dust all that dust off and it's gone, the sand and everything. And sand doesn't hang up in here. You know, we try to do that with our beach towels. We'll take a beach towel and clean our legs off, and then you shake the beach towel out, right, and you cram it back down in your beach bag. What ends up in your beach bag?
Sand.
Half of the beach, right? Not with this. So this little guy is cool. If you can remember when you're making your list of what all you're taking to the beach to put this on there, you'll love it, okay? Any questions about the dusting mitt?
Does it get gummed up with the oil, with the, you know, sunscreen?
I used it this summer and I didn't have that issue. Most of the time, by the time you're coming back in the condo, a lot of your sunscreen has kind of worked its way into your skin. And even if it does, this can go in the wash machine and you can wash it and throw it in the dryer. Okey doke, that's a good question. Anybody else got a question about this guy before we move on to number 4? Safe Haven 5. Anybody else? No? Okay, so number 4 is this cleaning paste. And so if this guy is so wonderful, which he is, by the way, this thing is amazing. Driving down the road, if you spill a big blob of hamburger grease and mustard and ketchup or whatever on your shirt, this is good for all that kind of stuff too. He's so great. Why would we need this? This is called cleaning paste. Sometimes you're gonna run into stuff that this little guy right here is not great at, okay? Like rust. Anybody ever left their shaving cane cream on the side of the tub for like a while and you pick it up and then there's a ring? Yeah, that's not easy to get off, is it? Okay, what about a cast iron skillet left in your stainless steel sink for too long? Big old rust in the bottom of your, what about concrete stain in your stainless steel sink? Anybody ever had that one? Y'all I sound like that's personal?
Hmm.
It is, okay. So my husband and I stained our front porch Coca-Cola color. Y'all know that color, it's beautiful. We were getting ready to go to a Sunday school party, and he was responsible for putting the stain up, and I was responsible for cleaning all the tools. So 2 days later, I go outside to feed the chickens and the dogs out of my utility stainless sink, which, you know, it's a utility sink, but I still didn't want Coca-Cola concrete stain in it. He had poured it down that sink and didn't wash it out. He was at work. Thank goodness he was at work. It had been on. I was so upset. I said, what can I do? So I ran and got this, y'all, and in about 5 minutes, I had that entire sink right back to where it was, reset with none of that stain in it. Your car headlights get kind of hazy and foggy. Y'all, this will get it off. Now, if it's, you know, rocks have made little dents in your lights and stuff, it's not gonna get that out. But that haze that builds up over there, it'll get that out. I'm trying to think, I've heard of pizza out of carpet. I had a man one night that had gotten really excited over a ball game, jumped up, and the pizza went down on the blind piece of carpet. And they had tried everything known to man to get that out of that carpet. They tried this, it came out, okay? Crayon, 2-year-old mural right here, green crayon, right here at the bottom. They had already bought the kilts and the paint to repaint their living room. Y'all, I used this at that girl's party and showed her how to get that crayon. I sold like everybody at that house got one of these. It was amazing. It gets crayon off. Okay, so it's really not a paste. Let me tell you what it is. It's marble flour, which, like, what in the world is marble flour? Marble flour is the dust off of marble when they cut it. It's that fine dust. It's coconut oil, some lemon zest, and some natural soaps, basically, if you were to look at all the components that are in here. It's hard. I have people call me sometimes, and they're like in a panic, like, yes, I got my Norwex stuff, but I hate to tell you about my cleaning paste, like, dried up in shipping. I'm like, really? Yes. I'm like, no. The way you make it into a paste is with the water off of this top. Yours is fine. She's like, really? I'm like, yes, it's like a powder. So when you get yours, this is what it is. It's really hard. It's like a powder. Y'all, and I have told Norwex, I've sent them an email, that they really should make this in like a $50 size container, because you will leave this in your will to your children, okay? It is like gonna last you forever. It really lasts a really long time. Now, marble flour, coconut oil, lemon zest, some natural soaps, those are all natural sounding things, right? All of our products have lots of natural stuff in them, so when you're cleaning with them, or if you have a child that you can talk into cleaning something for you, you're not getting a bunch of bad chemicals. So, Sharpie marker on a dry erase board. How many teachers do I have in here today? Usually there's some teachers at parties. And so, like, this is a nightmare, isn't it, ladies?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, whether it was a child or an adult, picked up the wrong marker, thought they had a dry erase, but they really had like a Duramark permanent marker. And they used it on your whiteboard, right? And so this little guy right here, I'm gonna show you guys. Oh, I love my Envirocloth, but he's letting me down. Like, it's not working, right? So, let me show you. Take a little bit of this cleaning paste on your Envirocloth, and this is where it goes from that hard powder to make it into a
Now,
paste.
does your cloth have to be wet?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
It's still wet from where I cleaned up the chicken. Still got the chicken on it. I ain't scared, right? I ain't scared. Okay, so look at how easy that's coming off. So, my kids go to Park Place Christian Academy, and I say kids, I have one left there. It's kind of sad, all of them are growing up, leaving me. But the teachers are responsible for cleaning their lockers. And so I have a teacher that had some of this cleaning paste, and she went in there and she said it was so funny. All these other teachers had like these baskets full of chemicals, like 4 and 5 different products, and cleaning rags and gloves, so that they wouldn't get all the chemical on them, and they were just ready for their cleaning, right? Now look at that, like that is gone. Anyway, she went and cleaned her section of lockers with these 2 things right here. Guess who wanted to borrow this?
Everybody.
Everybody else in that. And y'all, they got done so early they went to lunch together. Like, they were so excited. And so what did I end up selling to a bunch of teachers? It works. It's really amazing. Any questions about the cleaning paste?
Tell her your story, Taylor.
Which one? I don't know.
party a couple of nights ago, and the hostess had pink confetti all over her coffee table. It was a wooden coffee table, and she said she literally tried for 2 years to get it up. Like, her mom comes over and tries to clean, her maid comes over, tries to clean, nothing will get it up. And I was like, well, let me just try it. So while she was up there talking, I put the paste and the Envirocloth in like 2 swipes, and it was up. And she was like, are you serious? Like, she was pissed that I got it. And she had been literally trying for 2 years. And so we cleaned her whole table, and she was sold. I think 3 other people bought it too.
Yeah.
So
It's amazing. I just can't say enough about our paste. I think that's my favorite
I'm
product.
so glad you ladies are here at my party tonight.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Sorry.
awesome. It is so much better when there are a few people that are at a party that can jump in and give you some personal testimonies, because they know y'all, they don't know me, they trust you. I'm like, they're skeptical, right? That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. And that happens at the parties all the time too. Yes, ma'am.
At parties, I have someone say, well, I have magic eraser that cleans that off too.
We have magic erasers too.
Yeah.
We have them in our catalog. Can't wait to show them to you. I just keep rambling.
I tell them that it's ours, they have the chemicals in it. It's the chemicals.
That magic
Yeah,
eraser
two
has
different-
chemicals in them,
yes.
2 different things. I have never heard that, so thank you for sharing that too. I was at a PT/OT office the other day doing a party for some ladies on their lunch break, and they had an air conditioner leak down the wallpaper, and they had used everything they had at the clinic. And I went over there with a little bit of this and just cleaned about this much of that drip off, and they were all just like amazed. Y'all, you'll love this cleaning taste. One of our Safe Haven 5s. Okie doke, so we've made it through. Number 1, Envirocloth, and there's a test at the end. Number 2, the window cloth. Number 3, the dusting mitt, and number 4, our cleaning paste. Anybody got questions before I rock on to number 5? Y'all are good? Y'all are quiet? Okay. Number 5 is our detergent. And so this is the bag that, the size that you would get, but this, is what comes in our little kit if you decide to be a consultant. So I wanna take a little minute to talk to you about that really quickly. So, when you join Norwex, you get like this whole kit full of stuff. And y'all, I told y'all that the mop is the most coveted item in the whole catalog. I didn't tell you this part, but it's the most expensive too. So you get one of those for free in your little kit. You get, let me tell you what all you get. You get the Superior Mop starting system. You get this rubber brush that we talked about. You get a set of the body packs, which we have not talked about. I'm gonna give away one of those at the end, so I wanna talk to you about that. You get an Envirocloth, you get a window cloth, you get a dusting mitt, you get the cleaning paste and the laundry detergent. So you get the Safe Haven 5 plus the mop plus some extra stuff too. Y'all, you pay $10.69 to get this kit sent to your home, and you're a consultant. So what's the catch, right? Here's the catch. You have to sell $2,000 worth of product in 90 days. Y'all, that's 3 months to sell $2,000 worth of product. It's super easy to do that. An average party is $500. Have 4 parties, boom, you're done. Or be really super anxious like me and like, I'm not gonna pay $200 for this kit, and just tell everybody you see about it. I got $2,000 worth sold in 17 days. I would be your upline, I would be like your helper, and I'm pretty good at getting you to that $2,000 mark. So if you're sitting there thinking, I don't wanna have a party, I want to sell this stuff, like, we'll talk when we get to the checkout part. So this is amazing. So, what comes in your little starter kit though is this teeny one. You get a small cleaning paste and a small, laundry, but everything else is full size. So you'll see me dip out of this one, but this is what size you'll get if you buy the product today. So, first thing I tell you to do is cross the directions off on the back. These are universal directions for the 16 countries that we're sold in, and our water quality here in the US is much better, so we can use less and still clean really effectively. So, it changes your numbers on the front of the bag. The numbers say 66 in a regular standard washing machine and 100 in high efficiency. I've done some washing with this for a while, and I have a friend that has an HE. You'll get somewhere between 120 loads out of this or 150 loads out of this. Lots of good cleaning for $24.99. Now, let me show you how much, and you're gonna be like, what? So you're gonna use a third of this scooper for a regular to a large load of laundry. Now, people ask me, well, why don't they just make the scooper smaller? Well, it's for the 16 other countries that we're sold in, right? They have to have the big scooper. But y'all, this does a really good job, and don't be like, oh, she don't know. Like our clothes at our house, she just has no idea how funky we get. Yes, I do. I have kids, and we go to the gym, and they get in the mud, and my husband cuts down trees in the heat, and the clothes are soured. I get you. This is what it takes. Don't be smart and be like, I'm gonna use way more than that, because I did that one day. The clothes, I was like, I'm either gonna throw them away, or I'm gonna use a half a scooper. I don't care if they say a third of a scoop or not. These clothes deserve a half a scoop. Y'all had to rinse them twice. Like when I was getting ready to take them out of the washer and put them in the dryer, they were still kind of bubbly. You could hear it. I had to rinse them twice. So don't think you need more because you don't. I did a party in Carthage. I had 6 ladies in there that were just looking at me like, you don't know. My husband's a farmer, that's one lady said. Like he's cotton, soybean, cattle. I'm like, my mom is married to my dad, who's also a farmer, and she uses it and loves it. This is one of Mama's favorite things. She's got the mop, she's got the Enviro-One, she's got all this stuff. I'm like, Mama, seriously, the laundry detergent, she's like, it's my favorite. Y'all, we do have a liquid. I tried to get her to use the liquid. She ain't hearing it. She does not even want to try it. She don't want to see it. This is her favorite thing. I'm like, well, Mama, tell me why. And she's like, cause it cleans. Like it really cleans. She said when you girls were little, all we had were powders. And they did a good job. Then everybody switched to liquids. And I've just been noticing for about 10 or 15 years, the clothes are just not as clean. They're just not. All these ladies in Carthage, very hesitant to buy it. And I said, look, 60-day money-back guarantee. And if you do like the way it works on your Norwex, just wash your Norwex in it. Go back to your routine with your husband's farm clothes. I have a laundry club, which basically means you can tell me if you would like the laundry detergent delivered to your door every 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months. And they have all joined the laundry club. These women in Carthage, it works on their husband's grease and diesel and cattle and manure and all that. Like it works really well. So Mom had a pillowcase that she had bled on, and she had some dental work done, and she said she never could get all the blood out of that in one washing. She took the little scooper, she sprinkled it on that blood, she gave it a shot or 2 of water, rubbed it in with her fingers, it was gone. It went away in that one wash. She said the other thing she noticed was Daddy's t-shirts. She said she was getting ready to fold up Daddy's t-shirts one day, and it was the sun was coming just through the window just right, and all those yellow, brown, crunchy, y'all, men t-shirt pit stains, like it was gone. And she said it took about 6 weeks, but she hadn't even noticed that it was going away, and it was gone. She said this stuff just works. She loves it. You can also use it as just a general all-purpose cleaner. Y'all, some of us have a real problem with using just these 2 cloths. We are such a spray wipe society. 3 ways we clean. We clean chemically, we clean mechanically, we clean thermally. Chemically is the way we all know most. You spray, you wipe, right? Spray, let it sit a minute, wipe. Ours is a mechanical clean. It actually lifts and pulls everything up and into the cloth. And then the third way is thermal. So if you are a chemical cleaner and you've cleaned that way for 40 years, and now I'm asking you just to use these 2, put some of this in a water bottle, about a third of a scoop to a nice sized water bottle, spray away. You're not putting anything harmful in the environment that you're gonna breathe in or soak into your skin. And all you're putting on your cloths is what you're gonna wash them in eventually anyway. So have a ball. You can clean your jewelry, you can clean your makeup brushes, lots and lots of good stuff you can do with this laundry detergent. That's the Safe Haven 5. Anybody got questions? Anything I left out?
How do you clean your jewelry?
How do you clean the jewelry? Just mix up some in a container, stick your jewelry down in there, let it soak for a little bit, take a brush and kind of just brush through it. It's amazing. Okay, so that's the Safe Haven 5. That's this little box. This box is $99.99. So you're thinking $20 a product. Lots and lots of long cleaning. This will last you forever. These 3 pieces last a really long time. The only thing that you're gonna run out and have to have a little bit more of from time to time is our detergent. I have a family of 5. I buy a bag of detergent detergent about every 4 or 5 months. If you have a smaller family, you might buy a bag every 6 months. I do know some people that buy a bag once a year, cause it's just them and their husband, so that will be your consumable, but that's a really awesome price, $20 per item of things that last a long time. So, our last thing is our mop. Our mop comes with 4 pieces. Comes with a yellow pad, a blue pad, a base, and a handle. The part it doesn't come with is the rubber brush. You gotta have this rubber brush when you're using your mop, and I would love that they would include it in the price, but they have not done that yet. But they could raise the price a little bit and throw that brush in here. I think that'd be awesome, because you really have to have the brush. This one you think of as like the sun. Think of yellow like the sun and blue like water. So this one you use dry and this one you use wet. You're going to attach these together. You're gonna put your yellow pad down on the floor. The yellow pad kind of takes the place of your broom, to be honest with you. I still have a broom. It's used very, very rarely in my home, because we use this all the time. Even the front and back porch, we use a blower now to get it off, so our broom is just kind of hanging out there doing nothing. So put your feet on this, twist it, bring it between your nose and your chin, and tighten it down. Why is it not tightening? There it goes. Good Lord.
Don't look at me.
Now, some of you in the room don't like the way that I did this little pad. You want
Not
it
really
centered.
tired either.
Yeah, kind of OCD folks here. There's a rhyme and a reason for this. We want this side kind of stiff to get in the corners. We want this side kind of floppy to do your baseboards. This is when, and we don't have floor in here for me to do this with, but I figure 8, and I tell everybody, did you know that even with a regular mop, you should be figure 8ing? Most people are like, no, I had no idea. I'm like, you should figure 8, because you're bringing everything back to the center. And then I pick it up, and I love it when they have a dog in their house. It's usually like the best thing. And then I just show them that you use the brush in really short strokes. And then I use it on this board, y'all. This board it's a seller, because you can see all this stuff. Don't do it into their garbage can.
Yes, she literally did it onto the board and everybody's like,
Cause it's white and you can really see it.
That's a great idea.
Okay, so, do your whole house. When you get done, clean it out with a rubber brush, hang it up by the tag, and you're good to go. I wash this about once a week. I use this every day. I have an inside dog, the floors get disgusting. Something else that you can do with this mop right now, it moves in all kind of directions. You can lock it down with this little flip device, and it only goes this way, it won't go everywhere. And then you can drag it down the walls, and if you've never cleaned your walls and you think I'm crazy, like why would I clean my walls? Just try it. Your walls are dirtier than you think. I had never cleaned my walls till I got this. We had built our house, y'all, our walls had like sheetrock dust on it, and just your walls get dusty, and you don't think they do, but they do. Once you get done with the dry mop, you're gonna grab your wet mop, put it under the sink, get it good and wet, wring it out, throw it on the floor, put it on here, do the same thing, going through your house, just figure 8ing, cleaning your floor. The thing that people love about this mop is that you're not in and out of a dirty bucket of water or a dirty sink water. If you get about halfway through your house, if you have about a $2,000 square foot house or larger, this might get to feeling like you're really working. Just spritz it with some water to get the pad wet again and just keep going. The only time I rinse this out is at the end. Throw it in your sink and spray it down with the sprayer. Y'all, the dirt just runs right out of this. You don't even have to wash this every single time. These both have that backlock silver in it. Then if we swabbed your floor, there's nothing on it. It's 99% bacteria free with just water. It's crazy. I let the club at Crossgates borrow my mop set. I wanted to sell them some things. I gave them a dusting mat, the EnviroCloth, Windcloth. I told the little cleaning crew how to use them. And I said, y'all can do anything you want to with them, but do not wash them. I was scared they would bleach them. It's a club, right? So I got all my stuff back, y'all. This was black. I mean, it was black like Twinette's sweater black. And I thought, okay, deep breath. It's ruined, right? But at least I sold 3 sets of the EnviroCloth, 3 mitts, and I sold the mop. So I was like, I'll just have to buy more pads. It'll be okay. Y'all, I went home. I threw this in my sink. I sprayed the spray like, I mean, it was, this is it. This is the same pad. It's crazy. I did wash it in the washer that day though, cause it had been all over that gym floor. So these clean up, they last a really long time. The Velcro is super Velcro-y, like you're not gonna be trying to Velcro it one day and it just won't hook on there and you're aggravated, like it's really, really good. This is $112, which is a lot of money, right? It's a lot of dang money. Think with me for a minute though, if you use a Swiffer, you gotta buy the little juice pack that hangs on the side of it, and you gotta buy the little pads, right? Y'all, that stuff's expensive, and it's the hassle of trying to remember to get it. Like, I remember going to, I'm gonna mop today, grab the mop, and what's out? My juice or my pads are gone. And I'm like, dang it. It's a hassle, you don't have to do any of that anymore, and that adds up over time too, so when you're telling your husband about this $112 mop, you tell him you don't have to buy juice packs anymore. Okay, so make him excited about the mop. There's 3 ways you can get the mop. You can flat out buy the mop. I'll take your cards and checks at the end. You can have a party, and some months on this reward sheet, it's included. In my business, if you'll get to $750 in sales, I'll buy the mop for you and give it to you in one booking. So have a party and let's get you a mop for free. The third way that you can get it is to join my team, because I showed you a minute ago, it comes in your little doodad. So those are 3 moptions, or opportunities, as we would call them, that you can get this mop and have it in your home. Everybody loves the mop and they want it. One more little piece, and then I'm gonna hush, because I know y'all are probably like tired of hearing me and ready to get your catalogs and fill out your order forms. That's the fun part, right? Last thing though is the Enviro wand. So this little doodad right here, this is what you get. You can go in between your wall and your refrigerator. You can go in between the washer and dryer. You can go sit in your car and like go in between the seats and pull out french fries and money. Yeah, are y'all with me? Everybody got that? Yes. We gave my mom one of these at Christmas. My sister and I did, and so we came back for New Year's. I'm like, Mama, are you liking your Enviro wand? She's like, I have no idea what to do with it. So we showed her that you can bend the top of it, and you can like clean the tops of your door frames, clean your picture frames. You can bend it again, and you can clean down your ceiling fans. And if you have a really high ceiling fan, what's cool about it is this will pop off, and it'll pop on that little handle. And then you can reach way up to the sky, because this thing goes really, really high. And y'all, if you ever have trouble getting the handle up and down when you get it home, if you'll put your feet on it and use both hands, you can lock it down and you can unlock it. It's really easy. This little guy right here on the end, if you ever have scuff marks on your floor, like somebody walked through your floor with those black dress shoes on, y'all know what I'm talking about, you can take this end and just scruff those marks up. It's really amazing. So when this gets nice and dirty, which it will, especially cleaning that ceiling fan, you just roll it back out, take your rubber brush, go to the grass outside, and I used to tell people do it in their garbage cans, go to the grass outside unless it's storming or something. You don't want to reintroduce all that dust and stuff back into your home. Dust it in the grass and you're ready to go. When you get ready to wash this little guy, he slips off like a sock, and then throw him in the dryer, let him get dry, and he slips back on like a sock. It's amazing to go with your mop. Okay, so now I'm going to pass out the catalogs. I'm going to pass out the order forms, and there's one thing I hate to talk about, and it's the shipping, but I've got to talk about it. If it all comes to Courtney, it's $5.95, no matter if you buy the whole catalog. If you buy the whole catalog, then let's talk. You should really have a party for me, or you should become a consultant for me. Either way, if you want the whole catalog, let's talk about it. But if you want it to ship to your house, you flip over the order form, and I put them in the catalogs. And y'all, your order form is usually marked back here, and I stick it strategically with the Safe Haven 5. So when you get it and that little order form sticking out, it's on there on purpose. As you're flipping, you may get overwhelmed because there's so much. Come back to the Safe Haven 5. It's a safe place to land. It's a good starting place. And so that order form is tucked there. But flip it over on the back. The back copy's pink. And if you want it sent to your home, maybe you don't live near Courtney, maybe you live an hour from here, it'll ship to your house, and it's based on the money how much money you spent. Now, the reason I hate to talk about it is we all love free shipping, right? We love free shipping. We don't have free shipping. But y'all, even Amazon Prime, you pay $113, I think is the latest price, so it's not free either. So $5.95 comes to Courtney, she'll bag it up to you. You can meet her at her house, or y'all can meet in town and get your products. So, without further ado, everybody have a catalog. How long was that?
55 minutes.